Hey everybody, it's Dave Kennedy here at the TrustedSec headquarters. This is our lower level where we have a lot of meetings and get-togethers and monthly meetups and everything else. And I decided to build a Back to the Future kind of Hall of Fame of a lot of memorabilia from the actual movie itself. Back to the Future for me was one of my favorite movies of all time. When I was a kid growing up, Back to the Future 2, the future, what the future held, technology and its progression. We still didn't get hoverboards yet, but one of those things that I was always looking at and what actually got me interested in IT and then eventually cybersecurity. So for me, Back to the Future is one of my most favorite movies of all time. And I've been very fortunate over the years to collect various pieces of information from the movie itself. So, actual, pieces that were used in the actual movie, actual, props and things like that. And so wanted to give you a quick tour of what we have here over at TrustedSec. And of course, the collection always continues to build over time. My highlight of my collection is the actual hoverboard that was used in the movie itself with Michael J. Fox in Back to the Future 2. So this is the real hoverboard. It's actually really heavy. It's built out of plywood and it's basically printed over and painted. And this is the one where you would see where Michael J. Fox takes the hoverboard from the little girl and rips off the handle and then starts using the hoverboard to go over the water and everything else. We also have some replica ones here that were built. These are the kind of antagonist hoverboard here and the one over here for the pit bull. But basically the hoverboards were some of the most iconic parts of Back to the Future, and most specifically Back to the Future 2 and in 3. But this one here is the actual real hoverboard that was used in the movie. I have a hoverboard that's signed by pretty much the entire cast. So we have everything from Michael J. Fox to, Biff and Christopher Lloyd, Tom Wilson, Biff, as well as a number of other cast members. That was a good one to get just to have their signatures in. This is not the actual camcorder that was used in the movie, but it's the exact same brand and model, so it looks neat. It's part of the one where Michael J. Fox was actually recording as they did the very first time travel in human history. The actual almanacs that were used in the movie itself. So this is the actual almanac itself. I have two of them. This one here was used more in the display when Michael J. Fox was going up to the store to actually go buy Gray's Almanac and a few of the additional shots with it. So this was used very much in the movie. This one here, which is my prized almanac, was actually used by Michael J. Fox. And in the very back of it is an actual fox that Michael J. Fox drew in the back of it to let him know that it was his almanac throughout the movie itself. So this is the iconic Back to the Future almanac that was used throughout the movie by Michael J. Fox itself. It actually has like dates and things like that. So, if you see in the movie, they're flipping through it, exact same stuff. I was actually able to predict, obviously they're fake numbers and things like that, but I was able to predict it. We also have the ooh la la in the very back there that Biff used to cover the front of the almanac itself. So we also have the Save the Clock Tower newspaper that was used, the little pamphlets they were handing out in Back to the Future 1. And so these were part of the production used pieces of paper that we used to hand out for Save the Clock Tower, Save the Clock Tower. Production notes, schedules, things that were used during the movie, actual scripts from the movie itself, original scripts that were used in the movie. And what's interesting, if you didn't know about Back to the Future, is that Christopher Lloyd was notorious for improving, so a lot of the scripts actually don't match what was actually said in Back to the Future itself, because Christopher Lloyd was always kind of changing the script to make it kind of his own personal thing as he went along. In Back to the Future, there was actually 4 cars that were used, 4 DeLoreans that were used in the production of Back to the Future. The A car, B, C, and D car. The A car is the iconic car that everybody knows that you see driving around all the time in both 1, 2, and 3. The B car was a DeLorean cut in half so that they can get filming on both sides of the screen as you're going through. The C car was basically just used as a parts car, so to take parts and kind of galvanize that to move it into other things. And then the D car was the car that was destroyed by the train at the end of Back to the Future 3. And so with the A car, they did a restoration of the iconic A car. It had been in a deteriorated state. And so Universal came in and actually rebuilt the car. And so we have some of the original parts that were used in the A car itself. So these are just parts that they started stripping off to restore the A car itself. So I have actual parts of the A car. We also have some parts from the train that was used in the movie. Down here is the actual Pizza Hut wrapper. So if you remember Back to the Future 2, they take a small wrapper from Pizza Hut, they take it up and they move it into a machine that makes it big at that point in time. It rehydrates the pizza. That was the actual wrapper used in the movie. One of the other ones that's a really cool display that's most recent is the one up here, which is the Hill Valley Goldie Wilson Mayor sign. And in Back to the Future 2, when they come out of time travel and they're flying on the highway in the sky, and there's other cars driving away, there's a floating buoy that shows that the exit for the Hill Valley exit, and that's the actual Hill Valley exit prop that was used in the movie itself. So there's only one of those that was ever made, and we happen to have that here. We got the Back to the Future pinball machine. So playing video games for Back to the Future is always a big thing as well. So the pinball machine's an awesome one. Interesting enough about this one is that if you look at the Michael J. Fox, doesn't look like Michael J. Fox at all. And so as they're trying to get this all out, they couldn't get Michael J. Fox's people to sign off on the likeness of it, so they had to put a different face on the name for the actual one itself. But they obviously have Christopher Lloyd here as well. But great pinball machine, completely restored back to its original era, and continues to grow. So that's the main tour of the Back to the Future Museum here at TrustedSec. You're more than welcome to always swing by and take a look. Doors are usually open during the weekdays, but plan ahead and come by and take a look. Maybe I'll let you hold the hoverboard too. So appreciate it. Hope you like the Back to the Future collection, and more to come soon.